Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I apologize for my voice. I have been sick and I'm still a little stuffed up. But on this day, I was not yet sick, but John was. And so every day I was taking some emergency, hoping that I wasn't going to get sick. But I did have a little bit of a headache, so I took some Motrin as well. And I was just laying in bed, hoping that I would feel better. I ended up falling asleep for a little bit, so I woke up in the afternoon and I did feel better. Like my headache was gone, so that was nice, and I didn't feel sick yet, so I made a coffee, just hang out with Marley as usual. You can see the chair moving a little bit. It's because she's scratching at it, except she's not actually scratching because we keep her nails cut, so her paws just slip down. But I always know that she's coming when I see the chair moving. It's really cute because I guess she still just likes the feeling of doing it. So anyway, I was just hanging out with Marley, watching some General Hospital. They were shopping for Christmas trees on this episode, so it was making me feel really festive. But later that night, pretty much we've been watching a movie every night. We watched this movie called Christmas Eve, which we had both never seen before. And I had made us Big Macs earlier, the previous week, and I still had some leftovers, so I just made that for us because it was nice and easy. And the movie was good. We had never seen it before. It was completely different than we thought it was going to be, but it was good. And so I'm just hanging out with Marley again. And then I decided to open up my advent calendar for the day because I had not done it in the morning. Lately, Marley's been waking me up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, so I'm just up for the day. So by 7:30, I'm pretty much exhausted. So I've been getting in bed usually around that time. She's so cute though. I think she just gets lonely and she just wants company, so she just wakes me up, and then if I go fall back to sleep, she'll start crying again. So I just usually try to turn the light on and stay up. So on this day, I wanted to get a whole bunch of editing done, so I just decided to sit in the chair and just do nothing but edit. But I haven't really been burning candles much, which is funny because I wanted them so bad. So I decided to light this fruitcake candle, which smells quite good. But yeah, I thought about it the other day. I have not really been burning them hardly at all. So, and I thought, well, I may as well, while I'm over here, open up my Advent again for this day. And so for the previous day, I got the Shea shampoo, and then this day was the Shea conditioner, which I've never actually tried before, but I do like that scent, so, and I do like their shampoo, so you can assume it will be fine. Marley was, she always sleeps on the bottom of the bed if I sit in the chair, so she came right down. And then I think I just had this piece of lasagna for lunch, I think, that was in the freezer. So I just put it in the air fryer and heated it up that way. When I came up, I couldn't find Marley, and then I happened to notice that she was laying down on John's bed, peeking out at me. But as soon as she knew I was back in the room, she came in right away. It was so cute. I swear she's the most antsy cat though. Sometimes she'll pace around for a half hour to an hour before she finally just settles down and lays down. It's so funny. She's been like that since she was a kitten too. Sometimes we'd be going to bed and she'd come in the bed with us when she was a kitten, and it would be an hour of her just prancing around the bed trying to find somewhere to lay down. Anyway, for dinner that night, I just made something super easy, just nachos again, because we had it the week before, and we're watching a movie. We decided to watch Dennis the Menace Christmas. We had never seen it before, and I'll probably never watch it again. I mean, it was cute, I guess, but it was not that great at the same time. It was pretty cheesy, so I don't think I would do it again, but sometimes it's nice to watch something different. Pretty much every night after we're done with the movie, I just go to bed pretty much, but sometimes I'll watch TV. So I was watching that day's episode of General Hospital, but I think I might have fallen asleep before it was over. That's how tired I was. And so this next morning I woke up and I felt super sick. So it finally caught up to me. I thought I might be cleared of it, but I woke up and felt really sick. I made a coffee for myself and it took me like an hour and a half just to drink the coffee. So I had we had some daytime like cold and flu pills, thankfully. So I took one of those and I was trying to drink the Gatorade, but my throat was so sore that even trying to drink the Gatorade was hurting it. So unfortunately, but although I have been saying, because John was sick too, I was like, well, at least we got sick before Christmas, because I've been sick during Christmas and it kind of really sucks feeling like that on Christmas morning. I'm still sick now, but I am feeling considerably better. This was like one of the worst days, but I opened up my advent calendar, and so I just thought, well, I'll just take it easy. Marley was super excited that I was staying in bed, but I decided to try and eat this yogurt because my throat was so sore, which I guess it was okay. I thought, well, I'll just pull something really easy for dinner. That way, either like I can make it or John could make it later. So I just pulled out this pack of sausage. I had pulled out some soup for John because he was still sick, but kind of the tail end. And then I took out some frozen Brussels sprouts. We usually just cook those in the air fryer, so I thought that would be like super easy. I usually just cut them in half, so I just cut them in half and season them and put them in a bowl and just set it in the fridge. So John went to the store because I was feeling so sick, so he got some soup and he got some ice cream and then just like a few other things. But he also got these potato wedges that they make in the store, and the grocery store is about a 20-minute drive away. So because they were sitting in the car for 20 minutes, they got really soft. So it was perfect to eat. And I just made one of the sausages to go with it. And then I just had to lay down because I was feeling so bad. But then we didn't end up eating that dinner because I felt too sick. So I just had a little bit of ice cream later in the day because my throat was so sore that I was like, there's no way I can eat any more food. That's my favorite flavor of the Ben & Jerry's, plant-based. So unfortunately, things just kept getting worse and worse. So John actually went back out to the store, which is like 20 minutes away, to get me cough drops. The ones that we had didn't numb your throat, and it was just so bad. So I was so thankful he did that. So those helped a lot. So the next day was a little bit better. I was able to make a coffee, and I wasn't feeling as fevered, so I did a little bit of laundry, opening my advent calendar up. But that first day was brutal. So on this day, I got the tea tree cleanser, which I was very excited about because I got the toner earlier in the calendar and have been using it every day, and I really like it. So I actually really like the cleanser too. So on this day, I didn't want to lay in bed all day because I had not got a good night's sleep the night before. So I thought I'd just sit in the chair as much as possible. I felt like I could hold my head up, so that's pretty much what I did. And I just watched TV all day, so there was really nothing to film. But the previous night, the power had gone out, so I had to reset the clock, and I was just gonna basically just lay in bed because I had got to the point where I couldn't sit up any longer, essentially. So then the next day I woke up, I had got a good night's sleep, thankfully, and I was feeling pretty good. I thought, okay, I think it's mostly over. Unfortunately, that was not the case, but on this day I felt great. So I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. I can clean up in here a little bit and be able to get some other housework done. So I was feeling pretty great. I figured I would open my advent calendar, The box was a lot bigger than they have been, but it was a soap, an olive soap. So after I tidied up my room a little, I went downstairs. Obviously, John has been cleaning since I was sick, like doing the dishes and stuff, but there was a few dishes there, so I thought I'd clean that up, that I'd do a load of towels, and then I could tidy up the living room a little. I was going to put all the wrapping paper and stuff away because we were both done wrapping gifts, and I had thrifted this snowman, but I didn't actually like put him out. So I thought I would tidy up in here. We got some nuts for the like nut bowl. And I was finally gonna make the meal that I had cut up a couple days ago. So I was able to do that. It was super good. I just made some fries with it because that was super easy. But we love Brussels sprouts so much. It's like one of our favorite vegetables. So it was nice to have those. And then I filled up these other nut trays that we have with all the leftovers. These are like the nuts that were really good when we had them, when we had company and everybody went crazy over them. I think they're good, but I mean, they're nothing I would like run to the store to buy. But yeah, so these, I've just been like reusing these trays because they're perfect. I think I got this one at Walmart. And then this one I think I got at the grocery store. That's like 3 sections, but I'm definitely going to just keep reusing them every year. So then I thought I would find a place for snowman. So I do already have one of these snowmen. It appears now that they're together, it appears that it's the same mold. You know, I'm kind of confused about this. Like, I don't know if you could just buy them already and like you just took them home and painted them yourself, or if like different companies just use the same mold and sold. I don't know. I'd be curious if anybody knows. Or like, did you actually have to buy the mold yourself and make it from clay or ceramic? I don't know. I feel like this was really popular in the 70s, more so than like the 80s or 90s, so that's why I'm not sure. But John had also bought a big pack of batteries, like Energizer batteries, so that I could replace some of the batteries in the battery operated lights. And then I opened up my Advent Pink Grapefruit is one of my favorite scents from the Body Shop. So I was excited about that. So I started, I was still thinking that I felt, okay. But then I realized, oh, I'm actually still sick. But anyway, I wanted to try to get a few things done on this morning. So I wanted to make some more Chex Mix and use up the rest of the cereal that I had. And I have this cookbook. It's like one of those, it's from 1989. It's one of those ones that like companies would kind of put out to make you basically buy their products. But this one's actually like really nice. Usually it's more like a little booklet or something these days, or even if, I don't even know if they still do stuff like that, but I love it. And they do have a recipe for that in here. So I was flipping through it after this though, and there's quite a few recipes in there that I wouldn't mind trying. So I don't know. I feel like maybe next year I should try to do more vintage recipes. Maybe that should be like a goal. I do like doing it. I just don't make time for it. So, yeah. So I had taken out my butter earlier in the day to let it get soft because I was hoping to do some other baking as well. When I took it out, that one actually like fell on the floor and it like dented it in. But I had like the rest of the cereal in the bag, so I was just gonna use whatever was left here to make it and not really worry about measuring it. So I did that and got that in the oven because it takes a while in the oven. And then I was trying to figure out what I was going to make and what I needed. And then I went downstairs to the little grocery store to get a few things from I have like a shelf that just has baking stuff on it, like extra baking stuff. So I needed to get some sweetened condensed milk, but it's like non-dairy, some cherries, and a couple other things. I think I had to grab too, like some icing sugar, I think some coconut. So one of the things that I make every year that's one of our favorites is, they're called caramel snappers, but basically it's turtles, homemade turtles. And that actually started from a vintage recipe, which I did make a video for at the time. So, but you know, the recipe just calls for caramels, but since I can't just buy caramels that would be vegan, I have to make it myself. So I didn't actually film the process because it's pretty intense, but I wish I would have half the recipe. I always like forget every year. I don't know, that it kind of stresses me out making the caramel because it's like not the easiest thing, but I don't know, it's not that hard, but it's just like intense, I guess. Anyway, I was making some homemade chocolates too. So I did like half a batch, but then I split the batch in half to make some strawberry and some coffee flavored. I don't really measure that. I just mash up like real strawberries to give it the strawberry flavor, and I just use like instant coffee, or in that case it was instant espresso, and then I just kind of form them. I'll put them in the freezer and then coat them in chocolate later. And so while I was doing all of this, John went out to town and picked up a big grocery order, which I didn't film because it was just so much, but we got some more Dayquil, which I desperately needed. And I just made us a sub as like something quick to eat. Man, these pills are so huge. And then so we were just having that, and I had got some Snapple in the grocery order, which I haven't had for years. Like ever since they switched to plastic bottles, I was so outraged. And I was like, I'm never drinking this again. But I guess 10 years has softened me. So we just went to the basement. We were watching this stop motion animation that's not Rankin Bass, but it's actually made by Sanrio in 1979, called Nutcracker Fantasy. And I'd never seen or heard of it before, like just a few days ago. And I really liked it though. It was kind of dark a little. I don't know. It was like, I'm like, I can't believe I've never heard or seen this before, but I really liked it. And I was feeling really sick. So after that got done, I just went upstairs and laid down in bed, and Marley was so happy. She was immediately there with me. She loves using like hands as pillows. It's super cute. So I got a good night's sleep, and thankfully Marley was there. She's always there. And then I decided to open up my Advent. I got another hand cream. I love their hand cream so much. It's so needed this time of year too. So I got an almond milk one. And then I was definitely still feeling sick, but I felt like I could put in a little bit of time and hopefully get some things done. So I was going to make these cherry balls. This is something that my grandma always makes like every Christmas. So it reminds me so much of my childhood, but I was just making a half of the batch because John doesn't like cherries, so it was just going to be me eating them. Usually even half a batch like makes more than I can even eat, so I usually end up just putting some in the freezer. And then I wanted to make the coconut balls, but John doesn't really like coconut either, so I just decided not to make them. But I am going to make the peanut butter balls because those are a favorite. But this is like a super, super easy recipe. I'm not sure, like my mom, like years and years ago, I asked her to ask my grandma for the recipe, and my mom sent it to me like in an email, probably like in 2007 or something. Because I had been not living like at home for a long time at that time. But basically you just like mix the ingredients together, cover the cherry in a little bit of mixture, and then just roll it in some graham crumbs. So I've got some like gluten-free graham crumbs there I have to get them on Amazon because the grocery store doesn't sell them, but yeah, pretty easy. But yeah, it just reminds me so much of my childhood when I yeah. I don't know. Some things, like, it's just weird how, like, something super small can just mean, like, so much to you. And yeah, it just reminds me so much of my childhood. The only thing I wish different is that maybe, like, I could have got my grandma to write the recipe out, like, in her writing, but she has had, like, arthritis in her hands for a long time, so it's hard for her to write. And so, yeah, I decided against the coconut balls because I felt like even halving the recipe would give me, like, a lot. But the peanut butter balls are a favorite, so I decided to go ahead and make those. So I made all of those and I put them in this container. I also put these in the freezer, and then I dip them in chocolate after they're, like, frozen, so it just makes it easier to do that. So after I got those couple things done, I decided to make us a little brunch. So I'm making a little breakfast sandwich with these just egg. It's like egg patties kind of that are frozen. You just pop them in a pan, or I guess you could microwave them too. I got a little bit of veggie bacon there and some cheese. I think I've shown this before, but maybe not. And maybe you don't know this. I'm sure most people do, but if you, like, cut a single piece of cheese, you can make 2 pieces. I know, like, at some point I didn't know it, so, but if you just cut it into, like, an X and then put the 2 pieces together, it's the perfect size for an English muffin, because I hate when there's a bunch of cheese, like, hanging off the English muffin. So it works out perfect. And it was delicious. So then after that, I decided to bake some cookies. So I made some shortbreads. I just halved the recipe that I have, though, because only I really like them. But then I made sugar cookies because John likes those. So, but I halved that recipe too because that recipe makes a ton. And then John, while I was doing that, he went out to the store to I just decided to just get one color icing to do it, and, like, not be extra about it. So I have a bunch of different colored sprinkles. And then he went out and got some cherry hulls because all the cough drops we have are, like, super strong mint, and I was having a hard time breathing the night before, and the super strong mint was not helping. But he also brought me back a latte, which was super sweet of him. So I got all of the cookies baked, which made me feel so good getting all that done. And then I got things cleaned up in the kitchen, and then we were just going to watch a movie. I made nachos again because you don't really have to do much except put them in the microwave, but they were so good. And we're going to watch a movie because I felt super tired at that point. But we're watching Home Alone. We hadn't watched that in a couple of years. I like it, but it's, like, not one of my favorites, so I can only watch it every few years. Not every year, but I'm finishing the Snapple from the day before. And then, like always, I just had to go to bed basically after the movie was over. I actually felt so bad that I think it was like 6 o'clock when I got in bed and just hung out with Marley. And then I ended up falling asleep pretty early, but hopefully I'll feel back to normal soon. And starting to feel a little more festive, but it has been really challenging this year. I'm not sure why, but I'm hoping that the next video will be a little more festive. I didn't really have a lot to film this time because I was sick for most of it, but I hope you enjoyed this anyway. I hope everybody is having a good holiday season so far. Mine has been good. It's just having a little bit of a hard time getting festive, and obviously being sick isn't the greatest feeling, but overall in general, I'm super excited that it's this time of year and everything. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.